Welcome to another episode of the 5 Minute Money Manager. Although each of us has a unique list of needs, we all have some basic needs in common, especially physical needs. When I would ask my students to name the 5 needs that we have in common, their responses would usually start with food and water. Then, with a wry smile, I would ask, "How long can you hold your breath?" Air is our most fundamental need. With physical conditioning and training, a few freedivers have been able to hold their breath for a relatively long time, the current record being 24 minutes, 37.36 seconds. However, about 3 minutes is how long the average person can survive without air. Water is our second most important need. Most people can't survive more than 4 days without water. Levels of activity as well as heat can shorten this survival time. The next basic need is a toss-up between clothing and shelter. Aside from most social and cultural expectations for being clothed, have you ever considered why we wear clothes? The related question is, why do we seek shelters, natural or human constructed? Well, too much heat or too much cold or drastic swings in temperature can be deadly to us. Clothing is one way of helping us regulate body temperature. For example, I can't imagine going outside when temperatures are well below freezing without a heavy coat, hat, gloves, and several layers of clothing. In a similar fashion, one of the primary functions of shelter is to help us regulate our body temperature by providing a buffer from whatever climate is happening outside. Because a major function of both shelter and clothing is temperature control is actually the basic need. Now, before you react like some of my former students, there may be exceptions to the need for clothing and shelter if one lives in a region of the world that has a year-round, perfect climate. In fact, there are groups of people who have lived with little or no clothing and minimal shelter for many years. There is one additional basic need that my students would often overlook: sleep. Now, that's not surprising because few college students get enough sleep. And in fact, in our hurried and overscheduled lives, most of us don't get enough sleep. It is not clear how long a person can survive without sleep. The documented record is 11 consecutive days without sleep. However, after 24 to 36 hours of sleep deprivation, bodily functions begin to alter, and people may experience everything from memory problems to hallucinations. There are many other needs, but the 5 needs that we've considered today, air, water, food, temperature control, and sleep, are the survival needs that are common to all of us. My motives for producing a podcast are not political, and I deliberately avoid political commentary. However, my spiritual self will not allow me to talk about our common basic survival needs without acknowledging the fact that there are many people throughout the world whose basic needs are not being met. For some, this is a chronic problem resulting from a general lack of financial resources. For others, it is a temporary problem brought upon them by natural disasters, economic downturns, or political conflicts, that is, wars. If leaders of nations are really interested in the welfare of their people, they will do what it takes to help all people meet their basic needs. Additionally, we, as individuals and communities, can find ways to more fully participate in that effort. Thanks for listening, and have a great day.